Hopefully we're here. All right, it looks like we're live. Let's see. Because, man, we've been having quite the time. Okay, it looks like we are. Okay. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not here. Okay, let me turn this music down. Okay. All right. Because actually on my end, I couldn't hear it. Alrighty. Yes. What's up, Silent D? All right. So yeah, man. I guess maybe I shouldn't announce that I'm doing videos. And with that being said, let me start this one off by saying, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let this mug fall. Oh Lord. So again, welcome to the Beatzilla PDX official show. You know, as you can see, I tried this twice. And I guess the third time is the charm. So it looks like we are here. We are in full effect. And as you can see by the title, hey, it is what it is. So, you know, for those who may not know who I am or know what I do, I'm from Portland, Oregon, born and raised. And for those who do not know about this place, this is White Supremacy University. And so I'm just trying to enlighten the family on, you know, on just some insight of things that I was able to learn as a kid. You know what I mean? And just pass on the good information. Okay, so let me go ahead and get everything. I think I got everything here. All right. So please like and share this video. Because hey, this information needs to get out, needs to be heard. I'm gonna take my glasses off. And you know, people need to know this type of stuff. So I guess I'll just start right with the introductory of it. Turn this down. When dealing with this system of white supremacy, you got to understand the many levels and nuances that are involved with it. One level, I think, which most people are most familiar with, when you live in maybe high black populated areas, or even people of color areas, which is extremely unlike Portland. You may not have as much interaction on a level, or your interaction is limited because of your numbers. So we're dealing with a system that basically thrives on its numbers, thrives on its size, it thrives on its code to make sure that it is maintained. It's taught from birth, contrary to a lot of people's belief. It is definitely taught from birth, and you got to know certain things are just ingrained in your DNA. You know, some people say, you know, oh, hate's not learned, hate is taught. You could believe that, but you know, from what I've witnessed, I've witnessed very different. And I'm talking about from the little kids on up, because obviously here in this city, we have I guess one of the top fertility people. So a lot of these people come here to come get have their child. And what I've noticed is it's a lot of like dark-haired white people. So say The father has dark hair. The mother has dark hair. They always end up with blonde, blue-eyed daughters. In this respect, even going through the artificial process of, where I guess you're kind of genetically modifying your own children, for lack of better words, you know, you're going to end up with some repercussions of that. One of them is not having sons. And if anybody understands, when you have, you got to have sons to survive. Your bloodline will not go on. Your daughters can definitely have children, but as far as if you believe in reincarnation or something like that, your bloodline is leaving the earth. Well, with that being said, we already understand the premise of Francis Cress Welsing, and understanding that we are trying to avoid, not we, they are trying to avoid extinction. And, just by what we heard recently from Joe Biden and his meeting with the so-called black leaders, they do absolutely fear being the minority. The thing is, with Joe Biden, and a lot of them feel that if they are not the majority, then somehow everything falls apart. So what does that tell you? See, that should be a sign to let you know that these people will always look out for their group first. Even understanding that nature is selecting to dwindle those numbers, they must act to do something. One of those actions would be through things like medicine, healthcare, who we have to go to have our babies delivered. If you're not delivering at home, we trust these people to put medicine in our brand new, beautiful black babies and take their word for it. If you look at this picture on the screen, see, there's always been tactics used on us. And so today's lesson is about the tools and the fools that look like us that are used by white supremacy. Some may say that the Jim Jones situation was a government-controlled experiment. I've heard this theory. I guess you could call it a conspiracy theory. It's not mine, but I have heard it. And so with that being said, you have with the Jim Jones, what they were doing, they were basically putting this dude in black areas, and he was a white preacher, charismatic, I guess. They had the People's Temple movement, and for some that are in the age range or might remember this story, he got these people, was having them sign over their Social Security checks. See, that's what I call a dummy check. A dummy check is something that people will put out there to see where the mass is, like a temperature check to see how far gone are you. Can you see the forest for the trees? You know what I'm saying? And so you have people that do that. That's called a dummy check, just to make sure you're paying attention and just to see if you're not. Because if you're not paying attention, then they know they got you. You feel what I'm saying? And so, like, for instance, an example of a dummy check would be the airline bailout. Just think of the airline bailout. So, for instance, you had, which they did it multiple times. So people aren't flying. There's going to be another one, by the way. There's going to be more and more. So as people and black businesses and local businesses are losing everything, those tax-paid dollars of those so-called snuffed out small mom and pop businesses are going straight to the big airlines because nobody can afford to fly. Yeah. Wow. Imagine that. Now, one of America's biggest wins is having us in slavery. A lot of people don't want to look at it like that because I know you like to feel that you're American. You have earned your right as a foundational black American to have your stake in this land. But as far as what they view as a system, oh no, we're not part of that. So that's one thing we do have to understand as a people, that no, they don't view us like that. We have to view ourselves like that. And if we do, then we start labeling ourselves, we start taking ownership of who we are. And we no longer let anybody dictate and have say in who we are. You understand what I mean? So if somebody steps in the group that's not of the group, they need to earn the right to speak in our group. We don't owe anybody anything. With that being said, moving on. I know some may be well read and taught because you learned in school about the Kennedys. Well, some may not know Robert Jr. Is an actual anti-vaxxer activist. So he's an anti-vaxxer activist. Well, and this is just a picture. Hopefully you can see this. This is him and another brother and a bunch of people along with the movement that believe those things are harmful. Take it up with them. Don't take it up with me. I just showed the picture and delivered the message. This is fair use, by the way. The Washington Post. So, don't be mad at me. But has long felt that these things are dangerous. And so at this point, for what we have experienced as foundational black Americans in America, should we trust what they tell us? Now, mind you, we're talking about a group of people who are worried about their numbers. I'm just saying common sense. So one of the things is trickery. We're using trickery. And so when using trickery, you have to go with the most profitable tactic to get your point across or have people follow your way. What we're seeing today and what we have always saw and what has long been a plague in our community is our own who don't think like the rest of us do. So those of us who believe it's better to stay on the plantation, those are the perfect tools. And you best believe there are people out here right now that are very comfortable in playing that role. Extremely comfortable in playing that role. So when you get like a system, say 501c3 or 504c3, which I just read the other day, which another group is claiming to be part of, which officially turned lineage into a church. the levels of how white supremacy and the system can pick out useful tools. Look who's broke. See them struggling. See that they might have some kind of charisma. And see that they could get people to follow them or listen to them and listen to their ideas. Well, what do? Throw some money at them, put a little bit of change on that light bill, and change the environment for somebody that they could do different things, up their profile, maybe get on TV, maybe get a job back in Washington. These things take place every day. And these are the peoples like the Candace Owens. The Candace Owens of the world are the obvious ones. The ones that really aren't so obvious are your so-called black leaders, which somewhat have been exposed now, but that's just recently. So there's still people holding on to that. But we have to run down the line because, see, there's a lot of these organizations that weren't founded by us, but are founded with our face. Another tactic, because it's always about control. You understand? See, these are the things you got to maintain control by all means. So that means you have to cover all of your bases. So, and then on that level, you have to break that down to like a microcosm level, which they have done. Here's prime example. I'm sure y'all have been in the store and been around the members of the male persuasion, shall we say, the saltless chicken people. And you say you're in a store. Have you ever noticed, especially at this moment, how they still want to invade your personal space? Now, if you say something, they will jump to the victim real quick. Or they'll try to provoke something because, say, you might be in an open carry state or something. So they'll try to pull a Trayvon Martin situation, like that POS George Zimmerman, who's for some reason still walking around while people still killing each other in the street and killing rappers. Hey, it is what it is, folks. But like I'm saying, that type of thing, you're provoking. They'll look to provoke a situation and then cry victim because they got the law on their side. This is a system that has many, 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 many levels. And you got to learn what the levels are and learn how to respect them. Oh, man. Yeah, we live in their heads mortgage free. Absolutely. Because, see, the thing about it is, most black folks don't know who they are. We are just told who we are. So when you're told, the information and the identity of yourself came from someone else. And so if that happens, then that also means they could set the bar of success, which so many people do. Oh man, I get this. We're not even training ourselves to think past them. I mean, on some realness. You know what I mean? We're not even training ourselves to think past them. We're just only working up to get the best of what they allowed us to see they got. And let me tell you, there's some money out there that y'all ain't never heard of. You understand? Those people aren't the ones they show you on TV, the Warren Buffetts and them. Man, them is lightweights compared to some of these people out here. Okay? I posted something on my Twitter today. Check this out. The rest of the world is up here getting ready for this big, they call it the Titan robot. I seen it on Facebook. It's the Titan robot, right? Big old robot powered off of 5G. They got sultans, African CEOs, European diplomats at this expo, and Asian folk. There's a group that wasn't there, though. See, everybody else around the world is planning for something. And as I can see right now, and there's a meeting coming up in my city this week promoting all the resources that our most affected community must, be addressed, and get these resources to save your family. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to save mine. Now listen to your ass, because that's crazy. Anybody coming to you talking about who you should listen to and who you should trust that don't look like you is a traitor. Straight up traitor, straight up enemy of the whole community, because they will sell everyone out to think that they could be accepted over there. History has told us that that really doesn't work, because white supremacists break their tools when they're done with them. But it's hard to, I guess, say, hey, man, my ribs is touching today. Can't get my hair done like I like to. Can't date like I want to. Man, check show would be nice, and maybe a TV job too. We see, oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, well, yeah, see, the part of those resources being the immunizations, absolutely. Well, actually, you need to be able to tie. You have to create the resource. So one thing has to be introduced to the other. Then you can create the resource, because now you have the commodity. You got it. And I'm trying to speak as careful as possible. But yes, you need one and you need the other to come together to make something new. However, who controls it? Now, knowing who controls it, shouldn't some questions be going on to say, well, wait a minute. All of a sudden you care about me? We can get killed in the streets. Flint got dirty water. They stopping our money right here in Oregon. I don't know where this $50 million done went. And then they gave the lasting $8.8 million to the federal court. This is money just specifically for black folk. First time ever. And oh yeah, here's another tasty tidbit about Oregon. This is the 33rd state of the union and the first and only no Negro state of the union. You couldn't own a house here until the close to 1930 as a black person. Only reason they opened that up was because of the war. So aluminum and steel and a lot of, we had Sherman tanks out here at the time. So a lot of stuff like war. So they had to bring these black folks up from the South to come, fill this place in. Most went to Vanport. Vanport is the first Katrina. So before there was Katrina, we had Vanport here. Memorial Day, I want to say 1949. I probably got the year wrong, but it's like Memorial Day weekend. After the war, they never wanted black people here. But what happened was, when black people finally got to good old Oregon and Portland, black folks started flourishing. So just like in Oklahoma City, they did a little subtle bombing here. So what they did was, you got all these people out here in Vanport, which is kind of It's a dammed off area of Portland. Well, now it's Portland. It used to, it was Vanport. It's now like Delta Park, but it basically sits in a valley. So, but the Columbia River, which feeds into the Pacific Ocean, was held back by levees. So here comes a big old warm spring storm. People had warned them that the levees would probably break, just like in Katrina. And within minutes, the levee broke and the whole city flooded just like that. Do you think Oregon did a big humanity effort? Like FEMA and all of these people, you see crying for all of these other people, just like they didn't for them people in Katrina? We all the way up in Portland, Oregon. If anybody knows where this place sits on the map, do you know people, when Katrina happened, they were sending them up here. So like all of this stuff to be happening up here, some of this stuff ain't even got nothing to do with us. We're not us natives. Some of these people are like immigrants coming from the Katrina situation. They grew up here. I'll give them that. But prior to 2005, and folks wasn't here. And so we had a truce here as far as how the streets was playing out. We had a truce. They brought them folks in, man. Oh, all hell done broke loose. Heroin. Oh man, they tore this city up. Here's the byproduct of that, though. Now, the war on drugs was really successful here. Shout out Rod Underhill. So a lot of black folks got locked up here in the state. So although we only make up 3% of the state, we were making over 50% of the prison population. That means for us here, every time you get out there on the road in your car, I don't know how it is in y'all city, but for us, we learned the back streets real early in this town. Some of these places, like I think in Tariq's show last night, somebody mentioned that Oregon is a sundown town. For the most part, that's true. That is true. We got places in this city that we call hard hat towns. You better have a hard hat or one of them work vests going on through there, because they're gonna be like, hey, you lost? Oh yeah. This is like the south of the north. So you got to understand the tactics that are going on here. So with all that has been going on here, if you've noticed, see, here's one thing a lot of people don't know. Most of them Proud Boys and the head of them Proud Boys, where you think they from? They show up everywhere, but where do you think they stay? Ta-da! Oh man, this is one of the most racist places ever. So what I plan to do is I'm gonna start posting like poll questions or whatever. Not actually questions. No, I'm just gonna post it so you can ask me questions on different subjects you would like me to cover. On this one, this is just kind of my little preliminary introduction to. I ain't even gonna call it no master class. We're just gonna talk about what it is, and we're just gonna talk about the truth. We need to learn who our enemy is and why we are their enemy, and we should look at them as such. And again, today, one of the things that you should do with checking on people's temperature, who's around you, watch who they listen to, watch who they follow, watch whose kind of mind state they bring up when they're talking. So check people's temperature on that to get a feel for where they're at. And I say that, do that to everyone. Everyone. No one slips through the cracks. Vet everyone. Because always remember, it wasn't somebody that looked like them that double crossed us and all of our leaders that we have with us no longer. It was always from within. So you got to always vet these people. If they start talking like them, we got to learn how to have attachments to the right ones and learn how to shake attachments from the wrong ones. Feel me? And with that being said, thank you, Silent D. Hopefully I can make you a moderator. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we will work that out. I don't know if that can happen. Let me see. I might have to do it after this show, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to continue doing this. Please like, share this channel, like, share this video. I'm Beatzilla PDX. Shout out to the New Black Media. We taking the truth and we shoving it down your throat. And that's what it's going to be from here on out. Notice to the black leaders or so-called faith community. 2021 is the year of you revealing yourself or going against the grain of your community. You can make a choice now and stop pushing their poison on us. That's your choice, though. But just make sure that you know what you're doing. And as for what I know that you know, none of you are innocent. So we never can play that game anyway. So with that being said, please, oh man, right on, my brother. I got you. I hope that you will be edified by what I'm putting down. I just want to make sure I can give you the tasty tidbits that I know of the tactics that have been used against us for so long, and break that down so you can break it down on a daily basis when you face it, because we face it on a daily. With that being said, y'all, Beatzilla PDX. You can email me ourrealtruth@gmail.com. You can listen to my podcast where I'll be going way more in than I will be here. That is Our Real Truth at Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. If you feel so inclined, you can also hit donate at Cash App, $ Beatzilla PDX. Everywhere else, Beatzilla PDX. I'm not hard to find. Of course, if you want to listen to some soulful music, you can also go do that too. So until the next time, family, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and share this video. Shalom. Peace. Love y'all.